wanna be down with the king.
It's the Sports Kings. Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the King.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
And welcome back to the second hour of the Sports Kings podcast, as heard on Spreaker.com. You got Big Mike, Rob Calloway with you. Make sure you tell a friend about this podcast. We definitely want to say, as we always do, how much we appreciate all the guys and girls who've either gone and streamed the podcast or on-demanded it or downloaded it via our Twitter or the Spreaker.com app on your iPhone or your Android or on your home PC or your laptop. All these different ways that you can partake in the podcast. We definitely appreciate it. You can contact us during your listening via our social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. They're all at Sports Kings Live. Or you can choose to email us. You've got something long form you just want to get off your chest. You can do that at sportskingslive@gmail.com. Last hour, we talked a bit about the recent DeMarco Murray signing in Philadelphia. We talked about this recent rash of early retirements that seems to have hit the NFL this offseason just in the last week or so. We also talked a bit about the concussion narrative and how that's changed over the time from when the issue was initially brought to the forefront to where it is now, and what type of impact it may have on the NFL as a league going forward. Now, hour two. Things are probably going to get a little bit heavy this hour, at least initially, and here's why. This stuff that's going on at Oklahoma University. You know, if there, and I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to beat this dead horse. It's like every day I prepare for the show, and I'm reading, and there's a different development, and it would be me cheating. It'd be us cheating you guys if we didn't progress and forward the story as it progressed and as things happen. Now, the latest development is that now, for whatever reason, you know, the OU football team doesn't feel like enough has been done. Have you read this, Rob?
Yep.
They now feel as though the kids who are, I guess, the president and the vice president of the fraternity should be expelled from school. Now, mind you, these two kids had nothing to do with it. The two kids who they didn't make the video, but who appeared on the video chanting "back up." If you haven't heard about what happened at the university, or at Oklahoma University, a fraternity, a predominantly white fraternity, the Sigma Alpha Epsilon, if I can say it in English, the SAEs were on a bus trip somewhere. There was some intoxication during the bus trip, and two guys stood up and were chanting and singing a song with a bunch of racial epithets in it, talking about how black people would never be involved in it or be able to join their fraternity, and they'd rather see them hanging from trees or something to that effect. Okay, so as you can imagine, that sparked somewhat of an upheaval with the people who want to be, and I'm going to say this is my opinion, obviously, because it's coming out of my mouth, but the people who want to be mad about something. And therein is where I find the biggest problem. That the people who want to be mad about something, whatever it is, and as soon as the issue of race is presented, they've hit their mark. And I'm going to give you a perfect, well, yeah. So today, Jason Whitlock, some of you guys know him. He's back on ESPN now. He was away for a while doing like Fox Sports and Sporting News, and then he's...
Dude, they got him. They got him.
What do you mean? Who's they?
ESPN, ABC, Disney, ESPN. You know what? Do you know how they even got him back to ESPN?
I never inquired. No, tell me.
They promised him something, quote unquote, like a black great.
Oh yeah, I did. I actually did a show on that. Yeah, I did a show on that. And, one of my last shows at CBS.
Right, and it was like they got him back over there and never brought the topic. They never even nothing. Like there's nothing going, no movement, no nothing. Yeah,
it was supposed to be kind of like a black version of what Bill Simmons does, the Grantland thing, right. Like his own I don't know, corner of ESPN for black folk. But here's the thing about Jason Whitlock, dude. I stand on so many different sides of the road when it comes to him, because sometimes some of the things he says to me are legitimate. But then sometimes he just goes off the deep end with this whole, like, everything is hip-hop's fault for some reason. Like in today's article, for some reason, Eazy-E is to blame for the way society is right now. With the millennials and all. And he doesn't believe that the millennials, these kids that are coming up now, are less racist than kids of the past, or white kids of the past. Like, racism is the same way it's always been in America. Like, what the hell? Seriously? Like, somewhere like Emmett Till is like, Negro, are you crazy? You know what I mean? Like, somewhere some slave is like, my man, do you realize what happened in this country under the name of racism, or under the umbrella of racism? Like, you'll never hear me say, well, I'm not going to say never, but something that's not going to come out of my mouth anytime soon is that racism isn't an issue in this country, because it is. Well, before I call it racism, I rather term it race inequality, and I think there's a difference. When I talk about race inequality, I start talking about things like the condition of the school my son goes to, and the condition of the school, little Jimmy might go to, little white Jimmy might go to on the north side of the county that I live in. That's race inequality. I don't know if it's rooted necessarily in racism, the same thing that had black men hanging from trees, or dogs being sicked on black people, or people being beaten for marching across a bridge. I don't know if those two things can necessarily be called the same exact thing. Maybe in some people's minds they can be. I choose to separate them, because times have changed. And my guy Jason Whitlock, man, he wants this to be 1950 so bad. He wants today to still be that. He's talking about like guys, the guys of Martin Luther King's era showing up for marches and suits, and when they got arrested, they had on suits, and for whatever reason, that shows that they had self-respect. Okay, maybe. That may be true. But my problem is this. When as black people, and someone who has the audience of Jason Whitlock, to use that small morsel of the fact that one guy has on a suit and another guy has on jeans and a hoodie, that they can't stand for the same thing, that's ridiculous. Because it's the same attitude that tells someone that they can choke someone out on camera because of what they're wearing and what they look like. That person doesn't have self-respect because he has on a t-shirt and jeans, so I don't have to respect him. I can choke him out right here on camera for everyone to see. And at the end of the day, no one will tell me that I'm wrong. No one will hold me accountable for it. Like, we don't see the fault in our attitudes towards a lot of these things. That we can't, I don't care what a kid is wearing. There's no excuse for him to be murdered on the street by someone who has sworn to protect him. And there's too much of that going on right now. And I'm not trying to get on no soapbox, because what I'm really trying to get at is what happened in where is that? Is that Norman, Oklahoma, where Oklahoma University is, or is that where Oklahoma State is?
Yeah, Norman is where Oklahoma is.
Right. So we there was a lot of reaction after the fact, because like I say, now everybody no one's satisfied. I guess what happened is, like, the university president and everything, he beat all the protesters to the spot, like, immediately as soon as it happened. Like, dudes was getting expelled, people got kicked out of the frat house. The national.
But that's enough. Is that not enough? Is that not enough?
See, that's the problem. Like, before people could start their we got to march about something, everything that you could possibly march for already happened. So now you sitting out there with your all black on, chanting about stuff.
Looking crazy.
Right.
Looking crazy.
And no one wants to look that way.
Now, I will say this. You know, seeing Lon Kruger, and what's the football coach?
Bob Stoops.
Yeah, seeing them, you know, out there, you know, with their players, you know, supporting their African American players and whatnot. That was a nice gesture. I'll tip my hat for that. But
yeah, you can tip your head all you want to. Guess what? If recruits wasn't backing out, how much you think they'd really care?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're in the business of winning football games.
But at the end of the day, the president or the chancellor of the school, whatever they did the most proactive thing. You know, before any kind of backlash to the university could even happen, all of the things, the reprimand, the fraternity, to kick the students, all of that stuff, as you just said, he had all of those balls already rolled.
Right.
So really and truly, there should be nobody protesting. The only thing that should be going on right now is people going, you know what, man, President of Oklahoma University, boy, he sure did do a good job. He did a great job just going in and just, you know, squashing it before it really became something. Because, you know, had nothing happened if they kind of dragged their feet with it, like, it would have gotten bad, you know. So again, the president did a great job, and I don't see the need for not one more black person or anybody else, you know, to call for, you know, the expulsion of anybody. Like, the fraternity is basically, they've been disbanded on the campus. You know, no frat house, you know, no none of that. And, I mean, like, for real, like, what more do you want to have? I mean, do you want all the white kids to get kicked out of Oklahoma? I mean, like, what do you really want to happen?
I was gonna, you know what, I want to read something to you, and I want to get your thoughts on what I'm about to read, and then I'll give mine.
All right. Read it like you went to DeKalb. Don't read it like Floyd. Read it like you went to DeKalb County School.
Oh, man.
Know what you made of.
That woman already told you that dude is not illiterate, dude. She's already sent you an email that said Floyd Mayweather is not illiterate. So stop intimating that that's the case. Anyway, all right. So, and this is something I talked about. Did you and I do a show? Was that me and you or me and Alec that did the show that night that Marcus Smart ran into the crowd against that older fan? Was that you and I?
What happened?
When Marcus Smart was at Oklahoma State and he went into the stands. Was that you and I, or was that Alec and I that did that show that night?
Oh, I do not. Because, you know, we used to be on so late at night, dude. I'd be delirious.
It's like it didn't even happen. Yeah, but I talked about this on Monday. And before I get into any of that, I'm just going to read the statement. I'm going to read the reaction of a young linebacker for Oklahoma University named Eric Striker. Now, painting the picture, this young, shirtless young man, this young, irate, shirtless young man, probably 18, 19, 20 years old, right? Quote, I am so MFing furious right now. SAE just effed up. No, SAE just effed it up for all you effing white fraternities. F all you Bs. F you phony ass, fraud ass Bs. End quote. Rob, go.
Wow. Read that again.
This is from Oklahoma University linebacker Eric Striker, which, by the way, that's an awesome football name. If I could just say that first and foremost.
Yeah, it is.
This dude's